is time. It is time to brew your best beer.
The 2016 SJPorr Challenge is dedicated to your friend and ours, Paul Wickstein. Brought to you by Brewcraft USA, iMake, Gladfield Malting, Yakima Valley Hops, The Grain Bill, Brewers Exchange, Keg Kingdom Homebrew Supply, Hiraki Homebrew, and a special thanks to our silver sponsors.
Hey, I'm here again with another beer for the SJPorr 2016 Challenge. And this time, it's Time Little Too Late, and it is 26C-59B-74 Frank. I don't know why I said Frank. 74F. 4.48%. It is an unfiltered Americanized English bitter. So it's got EKG, Amarillo, Belma, and El Dorado. 4.48%. I probably said that already. So let's get it into a glass and see what this is all about. A little bit of a hiss there. Same glassware. And it is definitely unfiltered. Kind of has that color of an English bitter. ESB. Leave that behind. It looks like it's got a hefty amount of yeast. Oh yeah, plenty of yeast sediment. Maybe some hop material on the bottom there. There it is. That is murky. Cool. Looks like I even got a couple of chunks in there unintentionally. Look at that, kids. That thing looks like Yoo-hoo. Cool. Alright, so didn't really pour much of a head. There's carbonation, definitely. It's not screaming, raging bubbles coming up through the glass, but there is a nice few coming up the sides there. So there's carbonation in there. So aside from that, appearance-wise, hazy, kind of a burnt sienna, almost. So doesn't look all that great as far as that goes, but clear beers aren't everything. So some of my favorite beers in the world are not clear. So we'll see what this thing smells like, huh? Oh, it smells pretty good. Some of those American hops are coming through nicely. Maybe a little bit of an English yeast ester coming through. Not bad. I'm not really able to pick up any of the individual hops. And I'm struggling for descriptors a little bit. Definitely a fruity character. Maybe a touch of a tropical. Kind of like, almost like a mango or a papaya. Probably mango is what I'm smelling. But it's also pretty cold. So let's go ahead and get a drink. Let you know what I think about that. Cold, and then I'll cut for some scoring. Cheers. Again, very bitter. Woo. Definitely on the bitter side. Let's see if I can pick this out. Definitely like a piney, resinous. I'm going a little bit off of some of the notes here. Got a spicy character, like an earthy, spicy, dank, like more like piney, resinous, not so much dank. Definitely a big bittering on this thing. Definitely balanced to that side, or imbalanced to that side of the spectrum. So sweet or bitter, we're definitely on the bitter side. I wonder if that's where the haze is from. It tastes like it's got a lot of hops in it. The head has completely disappeared. The haze is still there for days. Haze for days. Alright. I'm going to sit with this, let it warm up a little bit, see if I can get some more character out of it, and I'll be back in just a few minutes. Or seconds for you. Cheers. Alright. I'm back with the Time Little Too Late 4.48% unfiltered Americanized English bitter. Well, bitter it is. Whew. So, I think there's a few flaws in this beer. And it's tough to tell you that it's almost too bitter for me to drink. I love hops, but I think there's too many hops in this beer, or they're in at the wrong time. I've said it on a couple of my other reviews if you guys have been paying attention. And it is especially important when you're doing a low ABV beer to watch what, if you're using Beersmith, what it says, or if you're using another brewing program, to watch what it says. Make sure that the beer doesn't get out of balance with your hop additions, where you're putting them in. You got to remember that even if you put hops in at 30 minutes, it depends on the amount you put in. Even though it's only going to be boiling for 30 minutes, you're still going to be pulling those, the bittering oils and the bittering characteristics out of the hops. Higher alpha acid hops are going to pull out more of that bittering character. Now, this thing has EKG in it. I can't tell. It's got Amarillo and Belma and El Dorado, and I can't discern any of those hops. East Kent Goldings are pretty mild, so I think that even if you had them, you had a small blend of all those other ones in the beginning and then you just put EKG in at the end, you would have to put a lot in to really be able to pick that up. But I think that's where I'm getting a lot of the earthiness. I think that's it is a very kind of earthy, noble hop, if you will, and it will bring a lot of that character. That's why it works so well in stouts and porters. Yeah, this thing is aggressive. Very, very aggressive. After I set it down and I was typing up some stuff, the flavor just is still there. It's still sticking around. So I think you got to switch your approach when it comes to adding hops. At least on this beer, you may make other fantastic beers, and I have no doubt that you do. But this one was a little bit tough for me. And I think it just comes down to how you use those hops. It's got fantastic hops in it, man. These are some of my favorites. I love Belma. I love Amarillo. I did an almost all Belma pale ale a couple years ago. It was awesome. It was fun. It was a really fun beer. I use El Dorado all the time. Amarillo, love it. So, I think it was tough for me because I really was was trying and searching for those hops, and I wanted to pull them out, but I just couldn't discern. Just was just one big bitter hop bomb. So might work for some hop heads, and I'm a hop head, but I mean you'd have to like throw in a handful of hops in your mouth. That's how hoppy this thing is. It reminds me of when I was so wise and threw a couple of pellets in my mouth. Oh man, that's how bitter this thing is. But I commend you for getting into the challenge. And you know what? This is what it's all about, getting the feedback from people. So, you know, I'm not slamming you. I'm not slamming your skills. I'm trying to help you. So take it for what you will. But I think that you get the beginnings of a great beer, and I think if you just focus on what the programs are telling you, go online, use BrewGR or use BrewToad or one of these other ones. If you can't, if you don't have BeerSmith, or you know, get on BeerSmith and play around with the numbers. Watch those little sliders where they tell you if you're in balance or not, if you're in range for the style. So pick a style and just kind of play with it. But cheers to you. Thanks for getting in, man, and best of luck. See you on the next one.